doctor to doctor will be easy to establish. How to start? Well, yeah, I'm not going to give you a brief synopsis of it. 11 years ago, I asked my doctor, I said, hey, would you like to come and talk to my kids during homeroom? And I was at Chaparral High School down in Parker at the time. And we had homeroom twice a week, which was, I don't know. I still don't understand what the concept of homeroom was. But anyhow, I had asked my doctor, would you like to come down and talk to my students, and I'll bring other students in about being a doctor? And he said, no. Okay. But my senior partner would. I said, all right. Well, a senior partner was a gentleman named Dr. Pete Baker, who was a retiring gastroenterologist at the time. And he said he had been a part of this class, this type of class, since 1975 at Arapahoe High School. And Arapahoe, bless you, still offers this course. And so I walked into my principal's office. His name's Ron Peterson at the time. I said, Ron, I have a doctor that wants to start a medical class, bring in doctors and nurses and other medical staff to talk to kids early in the morning, and would you be interested? And he said, yeah. So we were able to have lunch with the doctor, established a wonderful relationship with Pete Baker and his family, and have run with it since. Ron Peterson became director of schools here a few years ago, and after he had left Chaparral, and he gave me a call and said, would you like to come to Cherry Creek High School, Cherry Creek School District? We could envision expanding this class. And I said, okay, so the rest has been history. So this is my 4th year now here in Cherry Creek Schools, and 4th year at Cherry Creek High School. And again, I'd said we had established it at Smoky and Overland, and the schools that all have this class, Arapahoe started it. I started it at Chaparral, and they brought it here. Smoky and Overland. So those are the 5 schools in the area that I know about having it, and which is kind of a cool thing. Unfortunately, Pete Baker passed away in the summer of 2015. The thing that was absolutely amazing about Pete is every morning he'd come down and he'd sit somewhere in the front row and just listen to his colleagues talk. After his first year here at Creek that summer, after his first year with me at Creek, he passed away of they found a stage 4 melanoma in his back, skin cancer, and unfortunately it took him. But that's a little of that. Pete Baker is this gentleman right here. This is Ron Peterson. He was my principal at the time. We had actually nominated Pete Baker for a 7-Day Day Hero many years ago and had the news come out, so that was kind of a fun event. The gentleman here in the green shirt, that's actually Dr. Michael Hunt, and he is now my, as close to I can get to Pete Baker. He's actually going to talk tomorrow to you guys about biochemical warfare, which it'll scare you a little bit. You know, he's not promoting biomedical warfare by any means. He's going to tell you what it's like to be an emergency room doctor, and if someone sneezes in your face or coughs in your face when you're in the emergency room, you're really hoping that it's anthrax and it's not the flu, because anthrax can't come to you by someone sneezing or coughing in your face. Flu can. And you'll hear from this guy later. He's actually a Navy SEAL, and he's also a nurse. And so he'll talk to you about blowing stuff up and then how you put people back together out in the field. Does a nice job. So great opportunity. So that's just a few little things about it. This is this class. Our first year, this is Dr. Tanya Taghi, and that was Pete Baker right there, introducing her as a class. So this class, they should be in college by, no idea where they are. So Dr. Pete Baker's vision of what this class is going to do is going to continue for many years. I think if I counted correctly, I have 14 years left, but 14 years before I can retire with a nice retirement? I don't know if I'll retire that quickly. I have doctors that come in every day, so they can kind of give me free medical advice. So what to expect? Mondays and Tuesdays, 6:30 to 7:30. Okay, so that's a half hour later than it normally had been. So thank you to our schools for switching to a later start time. And then Wednesday, Thursday, 7 to 8 a.m. And some people might say, well, why isn't it just 7 to 8 a.m. the whole time? And 2 reasons. One, we have PLC time for us teachers here in the building. So I had to make They make it work for my PLC there, as well as I knew I was going to have some grumbling of some of the doctors saying, you're cutting into my day too much. And so that's kind of the reason for the difference. We still have a field trip to the University of Colorado School of Medicine. We're going to their cadaver lab. Look at the date. That's quick. I have the permission slips for that trip. I can take 30 of you at a time to the cadaver lab of the med school. Okay? So I have the permission slip for this. If this is a day that works, I mean, you're totally fine. Check your calendar. Here's the tough thing. This is the Friday right before Labor Day. So if your family's already planning on a trip on Labor Day, maybe you don't go on that trip. There's also September 1st, September 8th. So we're going to get done pretty quickly with our cadaver labs. You're going to see the human body, what it looks like inside, outside. You're going to handle all types of organs. The medical school has buckets of diseased organs for us to look at. They have a liver that weighs about 17 pounds, and it's a huge cancer tumor surrounding it. I actually saw the woman that came out of, she actually didn't die of that. She was about 400 pounds and had no idea that she had this huge growth inside of her. You'll see what it looks like if you decide to choose to smoke, what your lungs will look like after many years of that. You're going to see so many other things. Dr. Jennifer Hillier will be here next week. She'll talk to you about what the cadaver is, and her big focus is the obesity epidemic that's going on here in America, and her research is in brain development and things like that, and why obesity. So she's a world of knowledge. Go over how to earn an A in here, because I know that's important, and costs associated with the class. One cost basically $40, or could be an optional field trip, but I'm still working on making that happen. Let's see, we just did that. So I am going to send around, and this will change a little bit because kids will add and drop, but I hope to have everyone's name on here. If your name is not on here, come see me and print your name on the very last page, but come see me before you leave today for this classroom. So all you have to do, and I'm just asking you, this is the honesty factor, and this, I've not had to do this, but what stinks for me is, let's say there's 80 people in the class, and I see 80 signatures, but there's only 70 people who are here. That means there's some dishonesty taking place. Please don't do that. You know, if your friend can't get up, that's your friend's problem. Don't collude into, you know, being dishonest. So there's a couple of pages. The alphabetical order goes down each column. And this was a newer form that came out, so let's just see if that one works. So all you have to do is just circle your name when you find it on there. If your name's not on there, again, print it on the last page and come see me. Another thing that we will do, and we'll just do this for practice, is I hand out a 3x5 note card towards the beginning of each lecture. And this is not necessarily for you to doodle on, but it's for you to, if you have a question for a medical staff member, sometimes you don't want to ask that question out in front of everybody. But when you have 80 people who have a question or are in the class and your one question comes out, a lot of the times we know that it's you when you establish a question of, I have a friend that. It might mean that the medical situation is you or somebody in your family. But please ask. And there's not a horrible question to ask on these, other than I won't ask the question to the doctor, how much do you make personally, or what kind of car do you drive? Unfortunately, in Cherry Creek Schools, I haven't come across those questions. I will tell you that down at Chaparral, I always have kids ask the doctors, what kind of car do you drive? Really? One with 4 wheels and a steering wheel. Come on. So what will make a little bit more sense with these cards is you print your question on it, and about 10 minutes towards the end of the period, I'll collect them back. When I collect them back, then the doctor or nurse or PA is not done. They just have the opportunity to finish up their lecture, and then I will, go through the questions and try and. A lot of times it might be the same question, so I'll try and weed out the questions that are similar ones and make sure it's just ask ones. And then if there's the one who decides I want to ask about what kind of car they have, you won't find out unless you follow the doctor out, that's called stalking. Do I care if you really take notes? If you're a person that feels that you truly need to take notes, then please do. Don't get anything more than that 7-cent binder or spiral notebook you can buy over there at the Staples. Okay? But there's no reason for it. It's the notes that you write aren't necessarily going to be found on the final exam. Okay? So it's up to you if you decide you want to write notes. I would maybe jot down the person's name who's presenting and what they're presenting about, and that's about all I would suggest. And I'll talk a little bit more about. There could be 2 different field trips that we establish here. One's the cadaver lab, and another one is going through the simulation, and I'll show you what the CAPE simulation looks like. Cadaver lab. Nice thing is we're doing it up at the med school, so we can take 30 students at a time. So I can get that done with 3 class periods, which is awesome, or 3 Fridays that we'll offer it. Students, you need to have your own transportation. But it was just brought up to me this past week, and I'm going to check this out. If you park up at the med school, one, parking's pretty horrific, and it costs you 15 to 20 bucks to park. Or you could walk straight over that way through the park, go over the highway, and get onto the light rail, and take the light rail straight on up. So I'm going to do that on Wednesday, make sure I can make it work. And if that's a wonderful establishment, I know coming from me as a parent of 2 daughters, if I knew my daughter could take the light rail versus drive on 225 to get up to the med school and try and figure out where the heck things are at, I think I would prefer the light rail. So I'll get you the information on that, but I have to run through it and make sure it is appropriate. We might have some kids from Smoky and Overland with us. It's okay, don't worry. And then these are the dates, August 25th, September 1st, September 8th. And the lab itself will go from 1 to 5. So I'm actually thinking you should be on the light rail or leaving here by 11:15. Bring your lunch, or there's places to get lunch up there. Or if you're going to take the light rail and you have some money with you, run over there to the Jimmy John's, grab a sandwich, head over to the thing. Yeah, I said sandwich. You deal with it. And again, I have the field trip forms, the very first trip for September 25th. If that's a date that you feel might work for you, then I have the form for you. I will get the other forms out later. I need a pretty quick turnaround on those forms. It's basically Thursday due. So just make that work. Dates and times, all labs start at 1. Okay? So you're expected to be on the 5th floor of Education Building there on the medical campus. And I'll get you a map. Don't worry. I'll have everything for you. It's not like you have to wander around this campus of 900 acres to try and figure out where to go. We will get you there. And then you can only attend 1 cadaver lab. I mean, it's going to be the same scenario. It should be 3 to 4 rotations. One of the rotations will actually be you testing your blood sugar and running through your whole BMI and seeing how things are. No, don't worry. If you're scared of needles, don't worry. You don't have to prick your finger. But if you're like, hey, you know what? I want to see what my blood sugar is and talk about it, you have the opportunity. I will always be your guinea pig. So if you're like, hey, I'm scared to prick my own finger, I will give you my fingers to prick. Okay? If I pass out, you have my permission to shave my eyebrows off, and all good. Seem okay so far? All right. How does the lab work? Let's see. So please know if the date works for you, grab it. If it doesn't work for you, if you're unsure, don't grab a form. I can't have you switching in between the things just because of how the district policy works on that. Again, you need to provide your own transportation. Parking does cost, but again, I think that light rail, and it was just brought up to me basically Thursday or Friday last week, and I was really excited about it. And of course, I don't know if you've ever heard about how the district wants you to submit paperwork for transportation for a field trip. It's a lot on the teacher's end. I mean, what's the nearest hospital? And I'm sorry, I'm sarcastic on my paperwork. I'm like, what's the nearest hospital? We are going to the med school. Who knows CPR? Everyone up there. And then risk management will call me saying, hey, who really knows CPR? I do, okay? And some of the kids probably do. Which students? I don't know, and I don't care. If somebody drops, there's going to be enough medical staff up at the med school. We'll be fine. So again, if you decide to drive, I will provide you the map on how to drive to get there. And again, parking does cost. You do have to provide your own. You know, the machines will take credit card or cash. So think of it that way. If the light rail does work out, I'm actually thinking about going over to the King Soopers, buying a couple of booklets of things, and then you can just purchase tickets from me. So let me just, I know it's early and I know it's the first day of school, but let me just ask this, just by a show of hands. Who would be interested in taking the light rail up to the med school rather than drive? A lot of you. Okay? Raise your hand if you are going to drive to the med school, you would feel. Just a few. Okay. So, either way, it's fine with me. I think the light rail is pretty cool because, one, when you're leaving the cadaver lab at 5 o'clock, I don't know if you've ever taken 225 on a Friday at 5 o'clock, but it looks very similar to where you were parked earlier that day, like a parking lot. But if you want to drive, I get it, and don't think that's bad. And I know that the light rail station, it's about 400 yards directly north of here. So it's a small walk, but it is what it is. And then it drops us off pretty much on the medical campus. So I think that's a neat opportunity. So again, I got to write it, check it out, make sure it works. But then after that, I'll go from there. Is there any questions? You don't have to write down on your note card for me. Yeah. I'll get there. It's coming up. Question? Hey, I'll put it this way. I will say I will be leaving. I will be out at the security kiosk in the middle of campus at this time, and I will be leaving at this time to walk over. And if you choose that, if not, figure it out. It looked like a lot of the light rails that were going up there, I think it's the R line, at about that time of day, about every 15 minutes has something. So if you missed the first one, and I think if I buy the booklet of light rail passes, it'd be a lot quicker than having 30 of you plus anyone on the platform going, oh, here comes our train, hurry up. And it's like, well, there's still 16 people in line, you're not going to get it in time. But I think I might be able to do that, and I think that can make it a lot easier. But again, that's what happened. Is there any? I thought I saw another hand, or am I? Perfect. Hey, cadaver lab. Woo! This is what you'll look like in the cadaver lab. Actually, underneath that was a brain. But oh, look, that's a brain right there. Hey, that's Morgan. Morgan took my class many years ago. You're going to hear from Morgan on Wednesday. She's going through nursing school. She's awesome. You're going to like her. And But we had taken the brains out of cadavers. This was the cadaver we were in. This was down at Rocky Vista University. They're in something called the humidor, which is kind of funny because if any of your mom or dad smoke cigars, you keep cigars in something called humidor as well. Well, if they smoke cigars, say, hey, you know what? Cadavers are kept in those too. So that might change their whole philosophy on having a stogie from time to time. So things about cadaver labs you should recognize. I mean, it's not a dim, gloomy area. They're usually pretty lit up, and you're able to see the human bodies. This was fun. The big thing is if you can remove a brain from a cadaver and keep it all in one piece, that's pretty cool. Things you might not know about the brain that is in your head right now. But right now, your brain is the consistency of cream cheese. Okay? When it goes to the State Anatomical Board, if you decide to donate your body to science, what they do is they drill a hole in the top of your skull, flush it out of any of the fluids that are in there, and then they fill it with a 70% formaldehyde solution, and that makes your brain a nice jello mold. So then it becomes that. If they did not do this, this brain would not come out like that. It would come out pasty. So if any of you eat like cream cheese, your bagel might be ruined for you. I apologize. Hey, there's the spine. Let's open it up. Let's cadaver flip down. Looking downward, and we're going into the spinal cord. Girls, notice ponytail, ponytail, not ponytail, not ponytail, not ponytail, ponytail. I recommend the ponytail because guess what? Long hair will get right into the cadaver going, oh, look, yucky. So, hair in a ponytail. Guys, if you have long hair too, I recommend it. Oh, check it out. That's what it looks like when you remove the brain. So that's a skull opened up. You can obviously see the nose and the ears, top of the spinal cord. Yeah, the pituitary glands right here, and the optic nerves. And this region right here inside the skull is different for everybody. It's a pretty rocky, weird thing, but everyone has it different. This is all bone, basically, and it grows out. Anyone know what this is? Spinal cord, yeah, when you take it out. So at the top, it's all a nice cord. As you get down to the bottom, it becomes a nice, noodly-looking spaghetti thing. So sorry if that was your lunch today. I'm sorry, I have a sick sense of humor. Students who have had me in math class before or any other class, they know that I have a bad sense of humor because I laugh when people fall. Sorry, that's just how I am. All right, so medical pictures and terminology. Yes, guys and girls, you will see the human body inside and out. You will see naked people. Okay, not here in the class, but they'll have pictures up on the board. You know. And we'll have people that will frighten you about some of the diseases that people like to share with each other. And it'll scare you a little bit, going, ew, really? So, let's see. I will be emailing about every Thursday. I send it via school email, so it'll come to your parents, it'll come to your school email. I know, I'm not that cool. I don't send email. You guys have to realize that I don't use Twitter and Yik Yak and all those other fun things that you guys all use, Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm not that cool. I'm 46 years old. I'm just not that cool of a person. But I will email you and your parents any of the presentations that you will have that day or that coming week. If there is something that your parents don't feel that you should be able to watch, and again, it is what it is. But if there's something that you don't feel like watch, let me know, and I'll give you an alternative assignment for that day. I mean, it's basically a reading. Okay, that's all it is. It's not the most fantastic thing, but those are just a few things to think about. So let's see. So make sure your parents' information is in on PowerSchool. I had a couple parents who, when I sent the email this summer, I had a couple parents saying, "Hey, my wife got the email, but I didn't. Can you add me to the list?" No, I can't add your parent to the list. Your parent has to contact the school and get their other emails established onto PowerSchool so I can email. Okay, so I will not email an individual parent on an alternative email account. And if you've figured out how to switch your email, I won't know. I'm just sending it to you as a block. I sent some emails this summer. If you're not receiving them, one of two things: you didn't enroll to the class right away, and that's why you didn't get it, or things on PowerSchool are not working. So double check that this evening. Is there anybody in here who is not a Cherry Creek School District student? They're just afraid to ask. Good. We get kids from other districts that sometimes take the class, so there's other things that I have to do. Let's see. I know I have Grandview on the house. Raise your hand if you're from Grandview. Oh, yeah. I know I got Cherokee Trail in the house. Raise your hand. Cherokee Trail. Do I have any Overland kids in here? Because if I do, you have this class at your school? Do we have any Smoky Hill kids in here? Good, because you have it at your school too. Is there any Eagle Crest in here? Okay. Any other schools other than Cherry Creek in here as well? Cool. All right. Emma, this will answer your questions. Days of no class. I think. It doesn't seem like it right now because it's hot enough in here. You're all probably sweating, probably not feeling good because it's warm in here. I apologize. We will make the air conditioning thing start working. But if we do come across a snow day or a delayed start, we just cancel class. Okay? Which is not, don't worry about it. I look at it this way. I get it. If there's a measurable amount of snow and the district hasn't canceled class, be safe with yourself. I mean, don't be like, oh, I got 3.5 feet of snow. I don't want Mr. Stirrup has it is. But if it's a dangerous situation, send me an email saying, hey, it was just too dangerous for me to come to school today. Now, please don't do it on like a day like today because I'm going to call you on it. But if it's a dangerous situation, please do that. Let's see. I'm going to talk briefly about this, and I know there'll be another slide about it. Absences. How do absences work in here? If you miss class, you miss class. You have 400 points all in for you right now for your grade in the class. Now, here's the math geek in me. I apologize. This is probably the only class that you legitimately have an A in right now. Anyone know what your grade is in all your other classes? Because you'll have some other teachers saying, no, you have an A in here right now. No, not now. It's undefined because it's 0 out of 0 points. You have an undefined grade in your other classes. Sorry about that. I got to roll that way. So this is the only class that I know that you have an A in. If you miss, I'm going to dock 10 points from you. Now, before you start saying, hey, this is unfair and this is an injustice, no, it really is fair. Because kids and doctors are here. Good, I just heard the air turn on. But if you have a religious day, you need to let me know. I will not take your points away on a religious day. Okay, but I don't know what religions you're following. So please just let me know. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about taking points away on a religious day. If I take points away and you're like, well, I had this religious holiday, please let me know. I'll put the points back in. It's easy enough to do. Excused or unexcused absences. The religious day is the only one that I won't take points away. Okay? If you're tardy, I will usually meet you in the back of the room after about 8 or 9 minutes, and I'll have you mark off that you were tardy. That's 5 points off. Okay? I'm bringing people into the school to talk to you about what they do and about medicine. So a tardy is kind of the wrong communication that you want to send to that person. I get it. Sometimes life happens. Okay? Car didn't start. My dog, this and that. Just make it work. You can miss up to 10 days and still earn the grade of an A in this class. That's 2.5 weeks of this class. I had a girl last year, she missed 6 weeks. Not because she was sick. And it was so unfair that she felt that she just so deserved an A when everyone else was here. Sorry. Final exam starts today. You have the whole semester to work on it. You can work with each other. You can use Google. You can ask doctors, nurses, whomever. It's 33, 34 questions. It's all on Schoology. It's not active this moment, but I will make it active. I think I made it active at 9 o'clock this morning. So you should see it pop up. And it should work for all of you. So my opinion is don't wait until the second to the last day before the end of the semester to do it. It's resumable, so you can do a couple questions. Don't submit it, just be done, close out of it. Schoology, or remember where you're at, and then resume it later. It's worth 20% of your semester grade. Okay? even if you get it early, if it's done early, I still won't put that in until the end of the semester. Okay? So basically, the only thing your grade is based on all the way until the last day of class is based on attendance, but there's some other things. Raise money. We'll talk about this a little bit more. I do have a few corporate sponsors who do fund us some money that offsets some of the costs. Let's see. Who am I? This is my 22nd year as a math teacher. Medical career is now for 10 years. So you said, well, this said 11 years ago. Yeah, 11 years ago I met Dr. Pete Baker. 10 years we've offered this course in different places. My office is 439A in the West Building. You can also find me in the CTE building. And that's my office number if you ever need anything. When we go up to the med school, I'll give you my cell phone number. But please know this, my cell phone is almost still connected to the wall. That's how like old school it is. So if you send me a picture, it doesn't come. I'm sorry. My wife won't let me have cool things. I'm sorry. Anyone speak Latin? So this is a nice picture of some students. Oh, she's holding the brain like a puppy. So let's see, a couple kids that are going into medicine. Well, that's Morgan. She'll be in later this week talking about nursing school. Kiana is a sports medicine and doing an internship with the Rockies. Brooke is in PA school. Cassie is actually a police officer down in Douglas County now, so she chose not medicine, I guess. And I don't know what the rest of them are doing. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Kaylee, she's a real estate agent these days. So, funny story about Kaylee. She was the only student that I had to remove her from talking to a doctor because she came forward and wanted to let the doctor know that she watches Grey's Anatomy, so she wants to be a doctor. That was her justification. I'm like, yeah, out of here. So she's selling houses now. So good for her. Dad and husband, it's my two daughters, who's a couple years, my wife. My oldest, her name's Leah. She's a sophomore at Arapahoe High School. And my youngest, her name's May. She is in 8th grade at Powell Middle School. And then that's me and my wife, Susan. My wife, Susan, teaches chemistry to engineers at CU Denver, as well as an introduction to science class at Arapahoe Community College. And that's up at Monarch Ski Resort. Wannabe Rockstar? Yeah, that's me. Sorry I did that. I love the band Kiss. Oh, it's my favorite band ever. That's just who I am. And we sang 2 Kiss songs in front of Chaparral High School. We did Rock and Roll Night, and the first song was Love It Loud. And the funny thing is, none of the students knew that we were doing this. So we had the theater department show up. They did all of our makeup early in the morning. And then I had a wig on, and all the rest of the guys had wigs on. And we're walking around campus. I didn't have any district ID, and teachers are stopping us going, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm like, leave us alone. We just kept walking. I'm sorry. I'm sarcastic. Yeah, I told you that. But it was awesome. The science teachers, every time we'd have an assembly at Chaparral, they'd always bring in something to tell how loud it was. And we went way beyond the loudness factor, which it was cool because the first song was Love It Loud, so it should have been loud. Yeah, I was able to meet the band. Yeah, I had a student of mine. Her father grew up with Gene Simmons. That's Gene Simmons, if you know the band Kiss. And at the end of the semester, Kiss had come in June of 2014. Dad called me and goes, hey, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, oh my gosh, what do you got? And what's the bad news? He goes, I could only get a second row center stage for Kiss. I said, that's the bad news? I said, what's the good news? He said, we have backstage and meet and greet. So I got to meet the band and go backstage. It was cool. So, so I keep my love of music. This is me doing the Bruins Brothers, and there's a few other teachers you might recognize them. We sang Soul Man back in 2016 for Make-A-Wish Week. This past year we did Greenwich Village People, and me and Patovic are both in Scrubs. So we call ourselves the Greenwich Village People because you had 2 surgeons, you have a golfer, a retired old guy, scientist. And you can't really see Mimac too much. She's actually dressed as an engineer, and Lily's dressed as a lawyer. So that's just kind of us. So let's go. Here, want to be an A. Boom. 10 points off. Religious day is excused. No loss of points. Again, you have to tell me if there's a religious day that I don't know about. 5 points off for each tardy. There will be some thank you letters you'll have to write. There'll be 6. You can be up to 10 And how it comes up to 10 is if you've missed the 9th or the 10th day, then I will say, okay, now you need to write 4 more thank you letters in order to establish those points. So two thank you letters per day missed, and I lie to buy back. So attendance 40%, 400 points, 40%. Letters, same thing, final exam. These 2 points I said before will be awarded at the end of the semester. How much does this cost? Well, I do need, sorry about the thing, $40. Bring a check. Write the check to Cherry Creek CTE, but also in the memo part of your check, please put your name. Some of you don't have the same last names as your parents or guardians. That's fine. But if the check was from Belinda Johnson and your name is Fred Smith, I don't know that Johnson and Smith go together. So just print your name somewhere on the check so I know who it is. Please do not bring me cash. And I say that not because cash is a bad thing. Usually what I do with your check is I take it from you and I put it in my pocket. Y'all have cameras. So all of a sudden you see a student giving the teacher $40 cash and you see the 40 cash going into the pocket. And some kid's like, he's a big jerk, he took 10 points away, and all of a sudden 9 News is going, hey, you're embezzling money. No, I'm not. Just make it a check. It makes it easier. It's easier to keep track of. And if it falls out of my pocket, usually a check will come back to whomever cash is like, oh, money. And that's how I would go to. These are a few of our sponsors of the class. Copic's a big sponsor. That's a medical malpractice insurance company that represents a lot of the doctors in our state. They give us a nice amount of money every year. They're great, great people. And then Cape optional field trip. Let's just see what time it is. 7:15. So I have. So there's something going on with YouTube these days because this video doesn't go anywhere anymore, and it worked this summer. So, but I'll show you. This is an optional field trip that we might take. I'm still in the works of getting it together. Let's see if I can make this work on the computer.
There's something so intense about it.
I'm going to put you on the monitor. He's doing compression.
And yet, these high school students
What is going on?
can't get enough of it.
What was today?
Awesome, great experience.
On this morning, well before the sun peaked the buildings at the University of Colorado School of Medicine in Aurora,
How many of you are going to go into healthcare?
these aspiring healthcare professionals
Anesthesiology, mixed animal veterinarian, Army nurse, pediatrician specialist.
each traveled from Parker for curiosity's sake.
So what you guys are going to see today and experience are a lot of interactive sessions.
A unique choice opportunity, an early morning medical class that meets several mornings every week at Chaparral High School. This morning's class is a special one.
This class doesn't just provide
Hey, that's me.
the high school experience for the kids.
Chris Stirrup started this course to make kids pre-med students. Today, forget field trips. They're virtual doctors. Students get the same opportunities as medical students, working with human patient simulators, checking for pulse. An experience in a class that wouldn't happen without partnerships with medical professionals, the University of Colorado, Rocky Vista University, and its cadaver lab, and funding from the Copic Medical Foundation.
Makes your heart flutter almost to listen to the young students say that they'd like to go into this specific field or that specific field.
A Copic grant also funds Noel.
Hi, Noelle. I'm Natalie. I'm part of the only team. I'll be delivering your baby.
Noel has simulated thousands of births, engaging a current generation of doctors, and the next one too.
She had a baby. Just delivered a really healthy baby.
Delivering a baby is an unbelievable situation for these kids. You know, they're going to walk back to school and say, I delivered a baby today.
A valuable DCSD choice available to all students, no matter if you go to Chaparral, Douglas County, or Ponderosa.
Just having the opportunity
That was
to
what I was
like
talking
this,
about,
be
yes.
exposed to something so different than what's offered at my
The
school.
class itself is
giving me a great experience without having to pay like tuition and everything to get pre-med.
This is where the scenario.
You don't forget delivering your first baby or saving your first life. And all of that, for these students at least, it happened here.
Watching just global learning take place. They are learning the big picture today.
So I'd like to say that the program is still going at Chaparral. It's not, I'm not running it, so I've heard it's dropped down to like 20 kids. Sorry. But take a look around. And again, this one didn't work. This was actually, you'll see a similar video of this on your final exam. But it did talk about a mother hearing her daughter's heartbeat in another person. The daughter had passed away in a skiing accident, donated the body parts to be a donor, part of the Donor Alliance, which you'll hear from. And the mom was able to, once that 13-year-old girl's heart was transplanted to a 40-year-old woman, that 40-year-old woman, they were able to meet, and the mom was able to hear her. It's kind of gut-wrenching. And it chokes me up every time I say it. And it saddens me. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but it's not working. I don't know. It says that it's been removed, but who knows. Larger picture of the class, connection outside of high school. Join us on Facebook, okay? Yes, I do have a Facebook page. The cool thing about Facebook, and I'll show you where it's at, does allow you to stay in connection with me pretty easily. I have students that are in college that are contacting me saying, hey, I really want to go shadow these doctors. I can get you shadowing doctors pretty easily when you're in college. It's a lot tougher in high school. I can make it work. Just talk to me if you have that interest. And that's what the Facebook page actually looks like. So if you find that, and that's in your handout, so you can see that. I mean, it's not required that you join it. It's just a suggestion if you'd like to join it. Obviously, I'll stay here at Creek for a long time, so you want to find me that way too. So real quick in closing, be aware of the times, earn an A, who we are, $40 check. One last thing I want to talk about real fast. Me as a teacher, I get sometimes you want to check what your cell phone says. And to me, I get it because you're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. I get that behavior. If you have your cell phone out with a doctor, it's pretty disrespectful. And they'll call you on it. So please just keep them away during the class. I'm not telling you not to have them. I'm just saying that, hey, if something does take place, if your pocket is vibrating, or there's something you're so desperate to know, just go out into the hall. And, for those of you who don't go to school, the restrooms you just have to go out to the left as you walk up the ramp. But please keep those cell phones away. It's rude, and I want my doctors to speak to generations of kids. I don't want you guys to be the last class they talk to because someone chose to have their cell phone out. Because I've had some of them say they've had concerns about it. And it hasn't happened here. It happened more at Chaparral. But I just want to give you a heads up on that. And then, let's see. Questions for me. While I ask questions for me. Yeah. Heck yeah. Doctor understands your body function pretty well, so. No, if you have to use the restroom, please, by all means, use the restroom. Other questions? Yeah.
Okay, so like next Monday, in the field trip, literally like 1:30 in the morning.
So you're losing a whole 10 points. You'll be all right.
Okay.
I get it, but that means you get to negotiate 9 other days sometime in the semester. I wouldn't panic. Your grade's not going to be horrible. Other questions? Yeah. Yes, you can audit this course. Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up. If you want to audit this course, please talk to your counselor. They will give you the form, then they give the form to me, or something like that. So I can't allow you to audit the course. I don't have the ability to make you audit, but if you want to audit it, you choose to audit. And an audit means, because this is not a weighted grade, it could affect some of your GPAs. okay, with an A. Sorry, but I think it's kind of cool that some of you are so smart, and that's awesome. But if you were going to audit it, go talk to a counselor. They'll let me know. Go ahead. Yes, it just counts as an elective credit. We used to count it as a science elective or a science credit. Unfortunately, there would be kids who are like, oh, I'm dropping my AP chemistry class. It's like, you want to go to medicine? Yeah. Don't drop AP chemistry. So, but we offer it as an elective credit. So it will go on your transcripts. It shows up as Epic Medical Careers, I believe is the name of it. Any other questions? So if your name was not on the sign-up sheet, come see me. If you want to go on that very first cadaver trip, if you feel it's going to work for you, come get one of these for me because they're due on Thursday. Other than that, go have a great first day. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. One.
I'd be like, yeah, looks like kind of. Oh, I think it's that one. Alright. Got it. Oh, you want one too, Hannah? I guess it was. Wait, what is you want one too? This is for the first. No, that was for the first one. Wait, right. How to register? Didn't he just point to the pink thing? Huh? There's football games on the 1st and the 8th. So we can't only go. Oh, this pink one. That pink one. That pink one. That makes more sense. I was like, this doesn't. We should be back in time.
Of course, so don't worry. They're not issuing parking tickets at 10 o'clock in the morning. So you're totally fine. I'd say park in this back lot by this most person in that one. Okay.
I left my phone.
Uh-huh. Do you want one of those?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Perfect. Where are you leaving school? School? Okay. So the 40 is required because a lot of that is first.